Hey folks, I'm the Mysterious JG, Let's Player Extraordinaire, I suppose. And welcome to a new LP series on my channel. Let's jump right into it. I'll have a few words of explanation for my history with this game and why I'm LPing this game now, as opposed to something else. But first, let's jump right in. It's an emulator, oh my god. To a game from Enix, before it was Square Enix. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's Soul Blazer TM. Soul Blazer TM. All rights are reserved. Copyright 1992, before some of my subscribers were even born. By Quintet Enix, licensed by Nintendo. They want me to push start, but I'm not going to do it. Not yet, anyway. Wise men tell a tale late at night of a great king destroyed by the temptation of evil. Late at night, they tell the story, eh? The Frail Empire, as it was called in those days, was ruled by a powerful man, King Magrid. But, being the Frail Empire, it was always predisposed to fall. It seems most people thought the king was a fair and kind ruler. There were some, however, who felt that the king himself was ruled by greed. He was not the son of a plumber. One day, the king happened to overhear two guards talking about a man named Dr. Leo, the shiz. Now, Dr. Leo is considered by all to be a great inventor and a genius. The king stayed up many nights wondering how he could use this great inventor to make him even more wealthy. Oh, he wants to make Dr. Leo more wealthy? All of a sudden, the king had an idea. He ordered his guards to capture Dr. Leo and bring him to the castle at once. So that would have been early in my thought process, but not necessarily what I would have gone with. Soon, Dr. Leo was brought to the castle. Dr. Leo! The king confined him in a small room and ordered him to invent a machine that would summon the king of evil, Death Toll. King? I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Dr. Leo finally completed the machine. The king instantly called upon Death Toll, hoping they might strike a deal. But it turns out the king of evil, Death Toll, was not trustworthy. Go figure. After many days, the deal was complete. The king would bring Death Toll all living creatures, and in return, Death Toll would give him a gold piece for each. Whoa. One by one, all living creatures began to disappear. Soon the world was completely empty. I'm thinking those guys who thought the king was motivated by greed may have been correct. Two people were watching this catastrophe. The Master and you, his follower. Oh, I'm Kevin Sullivan! Alright. The king was very foolish to be tempted by evil. However, I will give him another chance. You must go down to earth and revive the world, the Master said. On a ray of light, you descend to earth, a warrior sent to revive the living and punish evil. A Soul Blazer! Yeah, boy, reviving the world. This king was not a good guy. Seriously. Ooh. Oh, I like the way it segues right into the theme song again. Well, I mean, this theme song never ended, but it cycles back to this point. That's actually pretty cool. I approve. Anyway, we now have to choose a record. Take a minute to figure out what button does what. A voice came from above. My follower, since you will be able to speak with all living things, you should have a name. Please choose a name for yourself. How many letters have I got to work with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I'd forgotten this was the case, but since I'm a follower of the Master, I should probably be Kevin Sullivan. So yes, I'm Kevin Sullivan, evil incarnate Kevin Sullivan. It's a pro wrestling thing. If you are a fan of WCW around this time, I suppose, when Hulk Hogan was fighting the Dungeon of Doom, yeah, Kevin Sullivan was a servant of the Master, so this all works. Sullivan, my son, what an interesting name. All right, go and save the world for all creatures. Sure. Get right on that, Pops. Okay, so what button actually does what here? I could be in kind of a bad place because I'm playing on an emulator and I don't know what I set all my buttons to do. Sullivan received Sword of Life. Probably now I'll be able to... Sword from the Master. Is that even the correct way to swing it? Oh, fudge. Yay! No! You were probably meant to be able to do this without taking any damage. Oh, and I unlocked an old man whom I can stab. I used to live up in the sky just like you. Now I am living on Earth, away from the Master. Oh, it's the Zodiac planet. All the creatures that have been captured by Death Toll are sealed away in monster lairs. Just as you have set me free, you must free everyone. Even in the release of a small tree or creature, they will aid you in your quest. Here, take this, and kicks you in the nuts. Sullivan received the Flame Ball of Magic. Now it will join you. I am a magician, so I can use all types of magic. I'll use my skill to help you. Remember this, I need gems in order to use magic. When you set me free, the monsters left some small spheres of gold. This is what a gem looks like. Alright, let's work together to revive the world. We must go to the Grass Valley Shrine. Hey, cool, so now I got a little friend. This is the real way I was supposed to be using the sword. No wonder I had so much difficulty. A voice came from above. Sullivan! How can I help you? Sullivan, you're doing well. Do not give up. So touching the gold thing is your save point. It also automatically revives your health. I'm going to use save states because that is one thing I've missed about playing games on these old systems I can emulate. Is I use save states, which means I can be right in the middle of the thick of things in battle and just save state, shut down the recording, go do whatever I need to do. So that's a good thing. Now let's go to the Grass Valley Shrine. I guess this might be as good a time as any. I'm actually going to adjust my headset volume, if you folks will pardon me for a moment. So regular viewers of my channel, still working on it here, may be wondering, why are you playing Soul Blazer right now, JG? You made kind of a big deal, especially as Tales of Vesperia wound down, when that game had, as enjoyable as it was a long game. I did a very thorough playthrough, and I was pretty ready for it to be over by the time it was actually over. And I was making a big deal about how I was going to play Final Fantasy X-2, because Final Fantasy X had been my favorite Let's Play that I'd done on my channel, probably, and I was anxious to get going on the sequel. Although the sequel is in many ways an inferior game, it's also actually a superior game in a couple of ways, and I was looking forward to getting back into it. But essentially, I'm just wandering around now, killing time, explaining. But essentially, my channel is at like 4,600 some odd subscribers as I play, and Final Fantasy X had been my 1,000 subscriber special. And I kind of got it into my head that I'm close enough to 5,000 subscribers, it might be kind of fun and cool to actually make Final Fantasy X-2 my 5,000 subscriber special. Even though Final Fantasy X being the 1,000 subscriber special was a bit silly, because it was a long LP, and by the time I finished, I wasn't really at 1,000 subscribers, or even that close anymore. So, yeah. But no, I just got this idea, hey, it would be kind of fun if I could wait till I hit 5,000 to do Final Fantasy X-2. And I'm not trolling for people who want to see that LP to like, oh, make up dummy accounts and subscribe or anything like that. I'm just explaining why. I thought maybe I'll put that off for a little bit longer and do more of an old school SNES RPG. Now, I'm blanking on your name. I can picture your user icon clearly in my head, pal. But there's a guy who's been going back through my some of my old SNES videos, and like 7th Saga he just finished, and he was like, not teasing, but just noting that even during 7th Saga, which was a long time ago I LP'd that, I was talking about how I had eventually LP Final Fantasy X-2. He was like, it still hasn't happened. But that guy and another guy on my channel, like, just, you know, not a huge outcry, but a couple of people have asked over the last few weeks and months, are you ever going to go back to doing the old school SNES RPGs? Because that was my bread and butter when I started the hobby. And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I am kind of nostalgic for those, you know, a little bit simpler games, beautiful in their own way. The soundtracks on these old games were often really good because they were limited in what they could do with instrumentation. So they actually had to write good melodies. But yeah, that's, in a nutshell, why am I playing this? I wanted something I could kind of play periodically. fairly low-stress kind of game. I'm playing Nobunaga's Ambition, and it's not really that relaxing because I've got people watching, and it's not like super stressful, like I'm losing sleep over it, but I am like, yeah, it's a fairly complicated game, and you got to be kind of on top of things to have any kind of success. And a lot of people are watching and kind of talking about how they would do it, and I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. This game I can just kind of play and have fun with, and hopefully by the time I'm done, it'll be I'll have hit that 5,000 subscriber mark and can do Final Fantasy X-2. So that's kind of the reason. Sullivan heard us. Oh, this is also, by the way, Soul Blazer 3 is... This is not in any way official, but amongst fans of the Enix games back in the day, it's kind of considered the first game of a trilogy, a loosely related trilogy that consists of Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and then a game that never really came to the US until later. It was like fan-translated ROMs of the game were a big deal, but Terra Enigma, I don't think that ever saw a US release on the SNES, or if it did, it was really late in the system's life cycle. But there's a million games I want to Let's Play, but those are all on the list, actually. I almost jumped straight to Illusion of Gaia and skipped this. But I didn't, so let's go. Sullivan heard a small voice. There are many creatures being held in the underground castle. If you can release those creatures, the village will be reconstructed. Okay, so that's this flower talking to me. So Kevin Sullivan with his little, like, sticky, standy-up Goku hair here is kind of, he's like an angel, basically. In a world where all humanity has been, like, destroyed because some king wanted, some king struck a deal with the king of evil, Death Toll, that he would get 1 gold for every person in his kingdom that he wiped out. Seems kind of like a short-term kind of thinking. I would think that your like long-term earning potential of the individuals in your kingdom is more than 1 gold. But no, this king of this kingdom, he does not seem like he was a very good guy at all. It's bad enough he forced Dr. Leo to build a machine to summon the King of Evil, Death Toll. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, a little bit about my history with the game. Because at this point we're just kind of hacking away. We're very weak and we're hacking away at very weak enemies. And the story... There's not a whole lot of story going on yet, but we're going to gradually... Sullivan released an old woman. We gradually rebuild this kingdom as we play through the game, and then we talk to people and we get more quests, kind of. It's a fun game, I like this game, but kind of in a big empty space right now. You hear a sigh coming from inside the house, so when we go talk to her, we'll find out what she's sad about, and that will probably lead us to some other quest. But yeah, it is basically on a kind of Legend of Zelda. For lack of a better term, it's a Legend of Zelda type game. Camera's looking on you from above. You move up, right, up, down, left, right. BA start. You just fight stuff. It's pretty straightforward. Played this game back in the day, and I enjoyed it then. But where it kind of stuck in my mind more recently is I watched somebody else LP this a couple years ago. I don't remember the name of the LPer. But they kind of struck me from their accent. It sounded like they were probably high school age, and they had like kind of an Asian accent. At least that's kind of what I thought I perceived. And they played through, and I watched it because I remember liking the game, and I kind of got into the LP and had fun and commented to the guy because he was a new LPer, didn't have a whole ton of people following his channel. But a couple of things that kept amusing me that I'll probably be referencing in this guy's LP of the game. And I don't even know, like I said, I don't know the guy's name, I've lost it. And I unsubscribed him because he went a long time without updating anything. So I can't even send you to this guy's LP to like try to give him a little love. But he like at one point in all seriousness, like when characters were talking about how great Dr. Leo was, so I'll be referencing this down the road. He referred to Dr. Leo as the shiz. He's like, man, Dr. Leo is the shiz. But as you'll see as we play through the game, considering that we never even, like, we don't get to meet this Dr. Leo character very much, but the game makes a big deal about how awesome he is before you ever encounter him. I'm in kind of a bad way, so let's try to finish off these enemies here. Because those things fire at us. I'd kind of like to... I was thinking I would finish off these green guys here. Oh, but the problem is I don't want to lose those gems. Ah, shit. Oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. But, yeah, saying that Dr. Leo is the shiz is a reference to an LP of this that I watched previously. As is the fact that this young... I'm going to keep calling him that kid, but... This young LPer kept referring to Death Toll as Death Troll. Like, consistently called him that. And I commented on it and asked him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, it's like a joke, it's like... And I was like, no, I don't think it's a joke, I think you just think his name is Death Troll. Sullivan heard a faint voice coming from the jewel in the corner. Oh, it's the upper right direction. Zerfall, you're familiar with this form of writing. Alright, come over here. Hopefully this thing will give me some health. I will give you some advice. I will give you some advice. Don't forget to equip the things that you wish to use or they will not work. Sullivan received experience. Would you like to return to the Grass Valley? Actually, I would. Come back whenever you feel like returning to Grass Valley. Wait, I did. Didn't I say yes? Oh, no, I said stay. Alright, please continue. To the Grass Valley. Now, coming to Grass Valley doesn't restore our health. Oh, never mind. For some reason I thought that point there would take us back to this little... I don't know what you want to call this screen here that, where we have our little, I'm going to ignore you for right now. That chair is moving suspiciously. Where was the, somewhere up here there was a little portal to get us to the green, or the golden, thing. I'm not making any sense at all. Remember that room where we started, where we went to the left and found some guy and talked to him and got magic, and now he's floating around? Oh, here it is. Oh, just entering the room is enough to... Well, I suppose we might as well record. Sullivan, you're doing well, don't give up. You're only about 500 videos away from completing the LP at this point. So I've used all my material. I talked about the Asian teenager that I watched LP this game. And, that's all I had. Got nothing else to say about this game. My husband used to be the village chief. One day he suddenly disappeared along with the other villagers. I feel so lonely. How about being one of my children? Whoa. This game throws out some weird dialogue tree choices. I don't know what difference this makes. But that just feels weird. I'm going to say no. I think yes is probably the right answer, but I'm going to say no. Well, that's too bad. My husband used to be the village chief. Okay. This might be a you have to... Nothing will happen until you say yes. Really? I will call you Sullivan from now on. Well, that's an interesting coincidence, lady, because that's my name. Use the second floor as your own room. Okay, well, what happens... So now can I sleep in this bed? No? This is the room of the village chief. He used to sit and rock here for hours. Oh, cool, he's a rock and roll guy. I wonder when he is going to come back. It's a curious game. It's got a lot of like color and background on characters that don't really matter. And they really push this idea that it's like sad that, I don't know, like, you know, you eat this woman and she's She's now the only woman in the village. There's talking chairs. This game is full of, I guess because you're like a spirit, like angel, you can talk to... You're not a human, so you can talk to the essential spirit of things other than humans. So like talking to the plants, yeah, I guess. Talking to the chair, a little bit weirder. But yeah, this game is going to be full of you talking to non-human creatures. Including, you know, creatures like a chair. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Just hoping you might have something new. It's an odd... One thing that's odd about this game is that, you have to defeat these little monster dens, and then you, like, advance and upgrade and whatever, but... Because of the way it works, you don't really... What am I trying to say here? I think there's kind of like a finite amount of experience to be earned. And I don't really know if you're leveling up, like... When I was looking for a game to play, while I waited for it to be time to play Final Fantasy X-2, I briefly flirted with Chrono Trigger, in part because Lethal Feline's LP of Chrono Cross kind of reminded me of Chrono Trigger. But, like, Chrono Cross is one where you don't really get experience for grinding against jobbers. You gain... Well, you get very small little increases in your attributes from fighting regular old enemies. But your main jumps come from fighting against... Let's see, I'm doing horrible here. Your main jumps come from fighting against bosses, so it's kind of like you're always roughly as strong as you need to be to proceed, and grinding doesn't help. But this is a game where I don't see that there's a lot of opportunities to grind and get stronger. You kind of just continue forward, and occasionally you get stronger, and the game designers, it's up to them to decide how much experience you need before you get a boost that actually does anything. Sullivan released Tool Shop Owner. Tool Operator. Tool Operator. Tool Operator. We also got a little bit of health back for that. That was I don't know whether we can actually defeat these things. Oh, we can. We can defeat them. Okay, that being the case, I'm going to take them out as we go. I guess little guys like this give you some opportunity to grind for gems. Because I think they respawn. Hopefully those things don't, because they're irritating to me. And sometimes there are enemies that... I remember this, later in the game particularly, there will be enemies that they seem like they just respawn and whatever, but in fact, hidden away someplace that's hard to find, off in a corner of the map, you'll find a little point like this, like the little green dot. It's like a little symbol that turns into a green dot, and then when you press it, you get something. Like, they'll actually be hidden away in a corner is the thing. If you wipe them all out from every corner of the screen, you can actually get something for it, but you'll have to find 12 gems, eh? That was not good. But like for example, later on we're going to be coming up to a castle where it's dark and you can't see. See, I'm letting them come out. One of your better strategies in this game is to wipe them out individually as they first spawn, so that they don't get too much for you to handle. Like there. I think they've hit the end of what they're going to spawn here. Sullivan released Tulip. Sullivan began to hear a small voice.
There once was a mortar mill here before the village was destroyed. I hear there is a man in the mill who runs the elevator in the underground castle.
Thanks, Tulip. Thank you for that pro tip. So, what exactly are we... Here's like, there's moving floors. It's kind of like a wooden man-made structure here. Ah. Enemies are getting a little more serious now. These little winged demon dudes aren't screwing around. They're not just random monsters. These things have got to be servants of the evil Death Troll, aka Death Toll. Luckily, I can confuse their AI with my brilliant tactics. Sullivan released the bridge guard. More importantly, he released the bridge. Takes us a little while to get there, but this is the first Enix game I was ever aware of as a youngster. And it doesn't take that long for it to start moralizing at you. Hey, leveled up. The Enix games really... Damn. I thought that was going to be a good strategy to avoid getting hit. This little, like, stab motion doesn't do much damage. It will draw gems towards you, which I'm just now remembering because I wasn't using that before. The swing does less damage, but the enemy has to get closer before you can hit it. I was wondering what we would get in here. You guys are not really that threatening. Sullivan released Ivy. You mean the whip-wielding character from the... Oh god, what is the name of that series? It actually has soul in the name, doesn't it? Soul Calibur, yeah. His projectiles have limited range. But it seems I'm going to want to draw him up here to... There should be another one ready to go. Is there any way I can... Yeah, this would be the side to do it from. Yeah, you gotta have a good idea of where your sword actually reaches to have the tactics to defeat these devastating demon warriors. Now, somewhere up here... Oh, you came back. Yeah, I wanted to get this thing, too. So I'm starting to think these things actually do just keep spawning. Sometimes you can just find the sweet spot. And then you don't even have to brave danger. You can just do your vacuum suction stab to get the gems. At some point I've got to actually start using magic too. Sullivan received a Dream Rod. Alright. What the heck does that do? Strange stick that enables you to look into a dream, and your HP will be refilled if your life meter reaches 0. Okay, so medical gem is probably, medical gem probably... How do I get back out of the screen now? Yeah. It's probably going to be something that I can, like... You don't buy stuff in this game, per se, but, I could just, like, I can probably only carry one at a time, and if I use it, I gotta go back, or something like that. And there must be somebody in the game who can give me more, medical herbs, otherwise they'd just be really precious, and you'd never want to use it. Like saving up a medical herb for the entire game so you can face Death Toll at the end. Okay, so this took me back to where I've already been. Took me back to where I once belonged. And this would appear to be the way forward. I don't know why they keep heading over here, or why I went down here and messed with a pattern that was working out. I guess I was just greedy for gems. But you can't be overcome by greed, folks. If you are, you may find yourself ordering Dr. Leo to build a machine to summon the King of Evil Death Toll and making a deal with him. I, on the other hand, am going to go totally greed-free and release the Watermill Keeper. A man's voice came from inside the watermill. Turn it! This stupid wheel, it's so hard to turn. Wow, it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting thing for us to try to help deal with. That'll be coming up soon, folks. Real soon, because I do believe oh, wow. This is I think one of our first plot points coming up here. But we'll wait and find out about this in the next video, folks. So I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to part 1 of Let's Play Soul Blazer. Next time, we're going to meet an elevator invented by Dr. Leo. And a recurring theme in this game is going to be that Dr. Leo invented fucking everything. He is truly the shiz. Bye for now.